Yep, roger that. ICS comm check. Okay. Closing canopy. Check. Okay, ready to start.
Turn off the ground power. Disconnect ground air supply.
Yep.
Okay, while Jester's getting that sorted, seats armed, oxygen's on, TACAN and radio both set, starboards are set, spoilers and brakes are on, engines look good, all the instruments are set. Okay, we're all good in the front seat, just gotta wait for Jester. And my tracker is being a little weird at the moment, I might have to Holy shit, okay. Yeah, it's slightly out. Just reset it again. So, while Jester's sorting that out, we'll have a look at the aircraft. I'm flying an old school Tomcat today. Swordsman scheme from the 1974, I think it is. Carrying my usual loadout, 4 AIM-54As, some fighting AIs, so the smoke trails aren't an issue, and 2 Sparrows and 2 Sidewinders. And hopefully tonight I will not have PC issues, although I don't know. It did freeze overnight, and I had a bit of a drama this morning getting it to behave itself, but it's been fine. Touch wood, all day since I got it sorted this morning. Hopefully it will remain that way. You may notice there's a new bar up top. Basically I need a new SSD with some more space on it, because the one I've already got for Windows is filling up just with with crap, because developers in current year still haven't worked out that it's generally bad practice to put save files and even mod folders for games on the system drive. It's such a bad idea. Like, it doesn't need to be there. Put it somewhere else, like the game's install directory. But no, so I'm sitting here with several gigabytes worth of mods and save games and things on my C drive, which I really would rather not be there. So first of all, I need a bigger SSD. Second of all, I need to get Windows 10. Now, my version of Windows 7 is it's up to date, it's Service Pack 1, but the key I got was for a release client, because I had a friend that was working in the software industry and he got a shitload of evaluation copies. So, as far as I'm aware, I need to actually buy a new license to get 10. I can't just upgrade with an OEM key. It doesn't work. So, I'm thinking that most of my PC issues are actually related to the age of my Windows install, and a clean install, which I haven't done for way too long, will solve it. But there's no point clean installing 7 this late in its life. So basically, I need a new SSD, and I need to throw Windows 10 on it, and then sort out everything else going from there. It is basically functional at the moment. I mean, it has been locking up and then shitting its pants overnight, but it's easy enough to remedy. It's just if it really fucks up, it's going to take me a while to fix again, and I don't
We're
want
ready to
keep doing
taxi.
it. Krasnodar Center traffic, Circus 14 F14 taxis, runway 9 for southeast departure, Krasnodar Center. Looks like there's a bit of a crosswind, but not too bad. We are, of course, back to the usual Georgia war, full overcast, unfortunately. It'd be nice to have a bit of sun, but oh well.
Nice for takeoff.
Oh, shut up. ATC spamming me again. Out come the wings. Actually remember to set flaps this time. I almost never remember to set flaps for takeoff. I don't want them all the way down, actually. So what I'll do is I'll pull them up about halfway. That looks about right. We'll see how much this shortens the takeoff roll. I might do a mil power takeoff instead of my usual afterburner, just to see what difference the flaps made, because the last time I tried it I forgot to put them out. A lot of the aircraft I fly, both in sims and the ones I fly in real life, you do not take off with flaps, so... Krasnodar Center traffic, Circus 14, lining up rolling on runway 9 for southeast departure, Krasnodar Center. Kinda forgot to call that I was going onto the runway, but oh well.
We've got a friendly 165, 29 miles, Angels 30, and a friendly draw 095, 73 miles, Angels 14.
Krasnodar Center, Circus 14, clear of all runways and departing southeast. Checking out, pushing 253, Krasnodar Center.
East on my dead 6, flying over the airbase now. I'm lead. Another one just cut through the freaking formation.
Roger.
Almost forgot.
You passed them.
Overlord, Colt.
Yeah, that was at 14, I just passed.
Bogey dope.
Yeah, sure was. Alright. Guys from the AWACS map, the hostile splashed.
Cloud ceiling's 10,000 feet. I didn't actually check what the cloud floor was. Oh well. We can work it out later. That's a friendly off the nose.
We've got a friendly Sentry, 11 o'clock, 12 miles. Roger. There's a friendly 100, 93 miles, Angels 30, and a friendly two-ship Bra 215, 97 miles, and a friendly Bra 110, 140 miles, Angels 25, and a friendly Bra 140, 140 miles, Angels 1.
Pretty busy up here today.
Friendly three-ship Bra 215, 87 miles, Angels
Whoa,
7.
that was some stutter. Scope looks pretty clear. There's a lot of friendlies around us, but nothing enemy yet. The enemies we are having reported from AWACS are about 200 miles off the nose. And lower than we are. Try and cruise the aircraft at about 6,000 pounds an hour fuel flow. So just push the power on a little more to keep my speed up. I say to keep my speed up, I'm going fairly slow to be honest. 0 for 190. But we don't have him on radar yet, which is interesting. Go ahead and set the aircraft to level itself off, trim out the HUD and VDI, and then sort out my map so I don't get a really bad lag spike next time I open it up in combat. I forgot to set it earlier. So figure out what's going on around us. So it looks like we actually control quite a sizable chunk of the map at the moment, which is nice. Last time I was on, we didn't hold all that much. So someone's obviously been very busy.
Colt 8-1, Overlord, Bra 117 for 130 at 25,000 knots.
117 for 130. That sounds like a better target than what we're on.
We've got a bandit, Bra. 115, 125 miles.
Doesn't look like it. Probably still too low. A chair sitting in like exactly the least comfortable spot. Hang on a second. Ah, there we go.
There's a friendly 140 for 115 miles. Angels 3.
Right, that will do. Okay, so we've got an enemy off the nose now. Two ship from the looks of it. One's ours, one is data link. Unless it's, I don't think it'd be the one target being picked up twice, I think it's two ship. So yeah, 22,000 feet descending, 109 miles. So I'll tell Jester to bring the scan distance in once it gets a little closer. Come on. Almost there. I just don't want to lose the target. Looks like there's a friendly on it, so it may well get shot down before we can get in range.
Roger that.
Technically we are in range because Phoenix, but it's not a very effective range to fire at. Even if that was a bomber, I'd think twice. Go ahead and guess that's probably the other F-14 turning in on that. Yeah, so that'll be actually the Hornet, probably this guy. So that's another reason not to let loose a Phoenix at the moment, because if it fails to track the target and tracks on him instead, it will not look good for me. So I'm just gonna be patient a bit and head over that way. Show off this skin again. I quite like these old 70s skins. Beautiful. I really like the colourful ones. The subdued skins don't do a whole lot for me, so the older fashioned ones are more my cup of tea. Okay, so that Hornet's merged with those guys now. Looks like he's probably going to try and guns kill them. I'm not sure what they are though. I mean, I could go spectator camera on him and find out what they are, I guess, but It's a little cheap. Go ahead and tell Jester to STT
Unable.
the... Oh, no, he can't even pick him up. We'll try now.
Okay. I'm spiking him. Target, 73 miles.
There we go. 73 miles. He's quite far below us now. Very unlikely we'll actually pick him up on the TCS because of the weather and the distance. I mean, 70 miles with the TCS, good luck with that.
I lost
This is
lock.
old tech. Say that Hornet's probably smoked them.
You got it.
But there is more out
Bandit,
there.
Bra, 100, 102 miles,
There we go.
33,000.
33,000. I wonder if the friendly actually got blapped by that guy. I don't know. Comms are really quiet tonight, but they usually are in this server. I don't know why more people don't use SRS. It's a great resource to have. And it integrates perfectly with the full fidelity modules. So I really just don't understand why people don't use comms more often.
That's Nails, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, you say? Interesting.
Bandit, 150, 110 miles, 32,000.
There's that other bandit closer to the right. He's trailing a friendly. So we've got some stuff off the nose at least.
Looks like Nails, 1 o'clock.
Ooh, there's a bunch of tracks crossing the nose.
Copy that.
That is a lot of incoming. Might just hold out. I was going to tell him to STT the nearest, but I'll hold out a little bit longer. Bear right slightly just to keep them on the nose and inside the radar's vision.
Brother. Locking.
Really? That's the first one he can get? Whatever. Take the aircraft out of autopilot. Just pre-arm those 2 switches for the next time I need it. Just save some time. Up to mill power. Still can't see this guy in the TCS. He's still pretty far out.
Target, 55 miles.
I usually don't fire a Phoenix until I'm inside 45. Usually more like 40 or 30. Especially when you don't know what type the enemy aircraft is. That could be a fighter.
We've
If it's a fighter,
we got
I'm gonna fire
Nails,
it now.
1 o'clock.
It's so easy for him to get away from. 48 miles. That other guy is getting really close on my right side. Gonna have to watch out for that.
Target, 46 miles.
6. TCS still doesn't have... Oh, no, there we go. He's conning. But I can't see what he is. Blurry pixels, that's what he is.
Alright, those are some nails. 2 o'clock.
Yep, that'll be the guy off the nose to the right that I saw earlier. Circus 1 for Fox 3. 40 miles.
Target, 36 miles.
Circus, I got about 3 people tailing me right now. I'm heading towards it.
Yeah, I can see an absolute clusterfuck on the TID. I'm going to try and pop them as they come in.
Target, 27 miles.
It's got to be close to him by now. Oh, yep, there it goes. You can see the Phoenix heading over his way on the TID repeater. I'm going to hold the lock on him. He's trying to evade it. Coming right. Should be able to see his con shortly. There he is. Splash 1.
There is a Bandit 2 shift, Rob, 090, 37 miles, 33,000. I lost lock. No, sir, I can't do that.
Oh, come on.
Okay. I can't do that.
Too close, probably.
Copy that. Roger that. I got a lock.
Fox 3.
Target, 27 miles.
Straight nose on with us, so that should pop him. Not sure where the second guy went. Well, technically the third, but no idea where that guy went. I don't think this guy even realizes he's been launched on. Oh, there we go. He's gone defensive.
Target,
Too late.
17 miles.
It's an SU-25.
Splash.
Splash 1, SU-25.
Let's do this.
Just is picking up something else, I don't know what. Or at least he thinks there's something else.
Friendly, F-18, 6 o'clock, 3 miles.
I'm starting to panic though, which makes me worry.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1. Request bogey dope.
Roger.
Okay, I think that's either the missing guy who's gone to ground, or it's the guy I just shot down. It's hard to tell. Okay, we'll tell him to go out to 2.
Okay. Bandit 2 ship, Rob, 180, 71 miles, 31,000.
That would have been a data link contact that he just picked up there. What's the range on this guy? 75.
Nails, 11 o'clock, and Nails, 12 o'clock, and Nails, 1 o'clock. Bandit 4 ship, Rob, 170, 62 miles.
Yep, okay, those other 2 guys have gone off my right after somebody else. I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to go with the 2 on the left. They're the bigger threat to me.
Roger that. He's locked. Target, 56 miles.
Just going to hold my fire a bit longer, let him get a little closer.
Target, 48 miles.
Circus 1-4, Fox 3, 45 miles. Hold the lock on him for a bit, and then go for the second guy. Actually, I might go for the second guy now.
Copy.
The missile should find that guy with no problem. No, that's not what I want to do.
No can do.
Jester! Oh, whatever, just scan the guy that you had before then. Or lock the guy up.
Got him STT.
There we go. This is a different guy. Fox 3.
Target, 39 miles. Looks like nails, 1 o'clock.
Is that? I don't know, but it's not hitting me with any radar, so I almost feel like it's a either a MiG-21 or an Su-25, something with very, very short range radar or no radar.
Target, 29 miles.
And the last couple of contacts we saw were Su-25s. I don't know why they'd be flying this high, but apparently that's what's going on.
I lost lock. Roger that.
Splash one. I think I got the second guy too, I'm not entirely sure.
Wilco.
Oh, 2 more unidentified behind him. And I've just burned all my phoenixes, so this could get a bit sporty.
There's a bandit 2 ship, Bra, 170, 66 miles. We've got nails on our 12.
Don't know what a U is. I'm guessing that's unidentified. Well, I don't know what the fuck that would be. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter, as long as I can kill it.
Oh, I'm showing nails, 11 o'clock.
Oh, that is a mess of shit off the nose.
Colt 8-1, Overlord, Bra, 169, 450 at 13,000.
All call signs, Circus 1-4. I'm showing a mess of contacts coming north from Kobuleti or somewhere around there. I'm down to 2 Sparrows, 2 Sidewinders. They're quite high.
Nails on our nose, 12 o'clock. I can't do that.
Oh, come on, Jester.
Alright. He's locked.
There we go. 44 miles.
Target, 43 miles.
Just gonna get some missiles off of
34
the
miles.
nearest guy, turn and run, I think. I'm gonna have to get close enough as it is with the Sparrows. It's gonna be quite an uncomfortable experience. I think this is actually the second nearest. I can't really tell very easily. TID's getting a bit cluttered. Okay, he's about 30 miles out.
Target, 26 miles.
There we go, 26. So the range scale on the right of the HUD is actually working. I can't remember if that was there before. I really can't. Maybe I was just imagining things. Either way, it makes it a little easier.
Hey, F-18, that's just me. I killed the trumpets.
He's being engaged by somebody else, one of the other friendlies off the right side probably, so I expect this guy's going to get splashed before I can get a missile off. I'll just fly in as support on these
Target,
guys.
17 miles. I lost
That's an
lock.
F5.
You got it, boss.
Okay, he got splashed.
Not able. Okay, we're on. Copy that. Shit, nails, 1 o'clock. Roger. Roger that. I have a lock. Switching to PSTT.
Vortex, buddy, I love you locking me, but
That's a F5. Target, 4 miles.
Circus
Got a
1-4,
strike,
Fox 1
5
short.
o'clock.
Holy shit. They got a bit closer than I intended.
Flash.
Splash F5.
Bandit is down. Lost it, lost the lock.
What's this?
Roger, roger. Okay, roger.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1. Request bogey dope.
There is bogey, Hornet, 1 o'clock. 2 miles.
Okay, I'm not going to get greedy. I've only got 1 Sparrow and 2 Sidewinders left, so I'm going to head back out to the carrier, I think. Hey Pom, thanks for the host. I think my alerts are playing up again for some reason. But at least the bot should be fixed. It's one technical problem after another here. Next, thanks for the follow. Alrighty. So, on course for the carrier, he's 181 miles. There we go. There's the alert. Okay, I'm going to come off the power. I don't need to be flying this fast. Arm the autopilot and do it the lazy way. 137 for 15. He's down in the weeds though. So I don't really know if I want to go after him. I'm probably best off playing it safe, to be honest. Is this the Harrier? No, this is the F-14. I do have the Harrier, I just don't know how to use any of the systems in it, because computers scare me. So, this is my comfort zone, the older stuff. Actually, I better leave the missile prep on just in case. Oh, no hands.
Oh, we got nails right on our 6.
That's not very reassuring.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1. Request bogey dope. Colt 8-1, Overlord, Bra, 102, 422,
Okay.
Aussie 9-1. Request bogey dope.
I guess we are gonna go deal with that, because he is trying to chase me. Was it 100 and something? We'll just put out the call again, because I'm forgetful.
Overlord, Colt 8-1. Request bogey dope.
064 for 23. What was that pattern in the central display? That's the VDI. So the little like blocks that move towards you are the ground, just so you can tell the difference.
We've got a bandit, draw, 070, 25 miles.
Okay. 25 miles. And this thing is climbing like crazy.
Okay. He's locked.
Let me get out of this cloud. There we go.
Target, 22 miles.
No radar, it might be another SU-25. Hard to tell, but it does look like one. Get a little bit closer.
Target,
Yep, that's an
14
SU-25.
miles.
Circus 1-4, Fox 1.
That's a Frogfoot.
He's coming nose on to me, the madman.
Switching to pulse lock mode. Heads up, nails 5
should
o'clock. And nails 4 o'clock.
If he does evade,
Okay, let's do this.
Sidewinders.
Bandit 2 ship, Rob, 020, 13 miles.
Okay, he may have actually got away from that Sparrow. Fox 2. Surprised he's not flaring. The AI usually dumps stupid amounts of flares whenever you fire a heater at them, because they magically know that they've been fired at.
Bandit,
So you're gonna maneuver kill
SU-25,
himself?
12 o'clock,
No, he's not.
5 miles. I think the missile missed.
Yeah, I think it did too, Jester. Fox 2.
On our 12 sharp.
If that doesn't get him, I've still got the gun. He's evading like a madman.
Come on, show me some of that pilot
Just
shit.
track
Closing.
him. I'm worried he's going to drag me over something I shouldn't be dragged over, but we will see. Where is he?
On a 6, keep it up.
There he
Closing.
Come on.
We're on a 6, nice job. Closing.
Getting really close. I don't want to get too close, because if
Oh,
I
missile
go into an
miss.
overshoot, I'm in trouble. And of course he's going to go up into the cloud, because he's AI, and it doesn't hurt him. Come on. I don't even know how far out I am, to be honest. Like, I know there's a scale on the right. Oh shit, I'm going to overshoot here, I think.
Shoot him, shoot him. Closing.
Can't see him, Jester! Oh, Jesus. Where the fuck is he? Over here somewhere.
He's on our 12, ain't gonna get better than that.
I can't see him, and I can't see the HUD against the clouds. Oh, there he is. I got you now, buddy. And he's going to dive back into the clouds, because why not?
12 o'clock low.
I really shouldn't be playing this game with an SU-25, but I do want to see if I can just tag him. There
We're
he
on
is.
a 6. Nice job.
If he climbs into the clouds again, I won't follow him up. I'll just head back to the carrier. I really don't have the time or the fuel to do this. And it looks like he's going up. Yep. There he goes. I'm not playing his game.
1 o'clock high. $7 o'clock.
Just going to use my speed to get away from him.
6 o'clock.
He is dangerous if he gets behind me.
Watch it. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
I know, Jester.
Missile. 12 o'clock high. Hot. He's going to our 6, man. We need to lose him from our 6.
Working on it. How's our fuel looking? Yeah, I've got enough. I haven't got a lot, but I've got enough.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1. Request bogey dope.
Okay, I think we're far enough away to come out of Afterburner, so I don't chew through all of my fuel. That's the problem with trying to engage
There's a
SU-25s
bandit
with
2
guns,
ship.
especially in this weather.
160, 30 miles.
It's really hard. They just slow right down, and if there's low cloud, they'll disappear into the cloud, and you can't track them once they do that. They're also quite hard to see against the ground. So I prefer to try and take out SU-25s from a distance. They're actually, I feel like they're more dangerous than other fighters are when it comes to guns, because the SU-25 can just fly so slowly, you have no real hope of avoiding an overshoot.
Okay, we got nails. 8 o'clock.
2 for 6. Are you serious? He's still on me? God damn it. And why is my TACAN not picking up the carrier? I might be too low, maybe. I see something behind me. Oh, it's just smoke on the ground. Whew. That scared me a little. Still nothing on the TACAN. I'm gonna get some altitude just to see if I can pick the carrier's signal up. I almost feel like my TACAN might actually have had a random failure. Or something. Something's going on, because I should be able to pick up the Stennis signal from here. Oh, there we go. Are you serious? 2 miles? 2 miles? Okay, well, if you say so. Directly north for 2 miles. Oh, no. Apparently not. What is going on with my TACAN? I don't know, I guess I'll just get back below the clouds, which isn't great for fuel economy, but it is great for me actually being able to see the carrier when I find it, so...
Oh, we got nails right on our 6.
$159 miles, apparently. It sounds about right, actually. Now, I should really be flying higher up for better fuel economy, because I'm going to need all the fuel I can get here, but because the weather is so bad and the cloud base is so low, it's probably safer for me to stay down here. Plus, the coast is just over there, so if I do start to get really low on fuel, I can just turn in and land at Sochi, or somewhere near there. I'm actually going to go ahead and level the aircraft off, because I'm going to do a quick nav check here. Yeah, okay, so I am going in the right direction. If I desperately need to divert, all of these airfields are friendly. So Sochi is about as far as I can risk going. That's going to be my decision point. So right around here somewhere will be my decision point. Gonna come back on the power as well. So I'm sitting about 4,000 pounds an hour of fuel. And I'm at 4,900, so I'm pretty close to bingo. I thought my chatbot was working, but apparently my chatbot is not working. At least I don't think so. Let me test something.
Hey, what are you doing?
Nope. It is working, it's just not repeating its normal messages for some reason. Might just be because there's not enough text in chat yet. Pro streamer, by the way. Okay.
Roger. We've got a friendly 300, 82 miles, Angels 22, and a friendly Bra 355, 34 miles, Angels 9. Nails, 7 o'clock.
So the airspace in front of me should be clear. Just a couple friendlies flying in from the carrier or heading out that way. And just as well, since I'm now down to my guns. TACAN is working. I guess it's just because the crappy weather, maybe it's not picking up a very good signal or something.
Nails, 7 o'clock.
So, this is pretty much the Tomcat life. A lot of people thought they were going to be dogfighting 24/7 doing the Top Gun thing, but most of your job is just to fly around for a very long time with some very big missiles, fire them from like 40 or 50 miles away, and then turn around and fly back to the carrier. You do occasionally get into exciting furballs, but most of what you will be doing in the Tomcat, unless you really fuck something up, will be this kind of stuff, just basically flying around in autopilot, occasionally firing missiles. But you know, that's fine for me. It's a nice change of pace. I'm used to flying the MiG-21, which is very much the opposite. You have no fuel, you go straight up at whatever's flying over the airfield, you get in a mad scrap with it, and then you have to RTB because you've got no fuel left. Whereas the Tomcat, I can patrol around for like an hour or two and still have enough to get back to the carrier. Now, whether I can land safely on the carrier or not is another issue entirely. At least it's daylight this time. Last time I tried to land on the carrier was night, and it was my first time landing at night. It turned out okay-ish, but it was very stressful. So, the guys that do this for real must have, like, the most tremendously big balls. I don't know how they could do it. It's terrifying.
Overlord, Jose 9-1. Request bogey down.
Okay, well the TACAN's now working, finally. Stennis is 115 miles off the nose. Still just above bingo fuel, so I'm going to have the range to get there. How many attempts I'm going to have at landing is another story, but I guess we will find out soon enough. So I should be actually near my decision point. Yeah, so that's Sochi Adler right there, which is the last airport before Gelendzhik. And if I can't make the carrier, I'm never going to make Gelendzhik. So basically, I'm at my decision point now. I think I've got the fuel, so I'm going to go for the Stennis. If I do, for whatever reason, run out around here, I can always turn inland and try and get back to Sochi, or I can at least try and land the thing in a field somewhere. Unfortunately, DCS doesn't simulate water very well, and therefore it doesn't simulate water landings very well, so although I can put the aircraft down in the water, it's just going to do weird things. Water in DCS is really glitchy. It's not even like IL-2 where you see the aircraft gradually sink, it's just while you're still in it, and you can see underwater with perfect clarity, because it turns out the water's just like a single flat surface. There's nothing under it, not even any fog. To be fair, you're probably not supposed to be in the water in an aircraft, but I mean, sometimes you will be, so it never hurts to model that little detail. I might put my lights on, just so none of my friends fly into me, as people in this server have a habit of just about doing. They'll try and land on top of you, they will attempt to shoot you down, all sorts of fun things. Because half of them aren't on comms, so I'm running SRS, so I can talk to them over the radio, but there's only like one or two other people using it, and they're barely using it. So I don't know what they're doing, and they don't know what I'm doing, which is not really a good idea with this many aircraft in the air. Although the server has quietened down a bit, it was busier when I came in.
Request bogey down.
96 miles now. Nothing immediately off the nose. There's a couple of friendlies coming in from the carrier. So, one just behind me here, sort of over that away. And then this guy up here is coming in from the carrier towards Sochi, it looks like. Now, before I forget, I've got the spoilers and brakes armed, or the spoilers of the anti-skid. You don't want anti-skid when you land on the carrier, so since I'm landing on the carrier this time, I've got to flip that down twice. The middle position is neutral. I definitely want the spoilers on, otherwise I'll never stop when I touch down. Bingo lights just come on the warning panel here, and the master caution is flashing, but that's alright, I knew that was going to happen. 3,900 pounds left, and we're 89 miles.
276, it's over the ocean right now.
Actually going to come off the power a little more. So I'll bring the fuel consumption down to about 3,000 pounds per hour. I'm going to go ahead and set my HUD to the landing mode now, because actually the landing mode is more useful than the cruise mode. It gives you a lot more information. It's slightly more cluttered, but it's better to have the info, I think. Everything else should be set, I think. I could tell Jester to tune the back radio to the carrier frequency because it's on the VHF band and he has the VHF radio. But there's probably not much point. No one's really using comms at all at the moment, so I doubt that tuning to the carrier... Actually, no, I might do it, because then I can tell the carrier to put the lights on. And that will make my job easier, and anything that makes my carrier landings easier is a good thing.
Copy that.
Oh, 77 miles. What's the actual time in server? It's 10 past 8 in the morning, I think. It's so cloudy, it's hard to tell, really. I do like how the Tomcat has these little checklists for before landing and before takeoff. It's a handy reminder. I'll put the lights up to bright, just to make me easier to see as I come in towards the carrier. Spotting at distance in DCS is kind of janky, the way the level of detail models pop in and out, and textures as well. So it can actually be easier to see an aircraft further away than closer sometimes. It's really bizarre, kind of janky. And so anything that can help me be seen by friendlies that might also be hanging out near the carrier is a good thing. Oh, 63 miles now, and we're just losing sight of the coast there. That'll be Sochi off the wing. Should be, anyway. Yeah, we're just past it, so Sochi will be in about 4 o'clock now, and the actual airport will be in our 5. Stennis is right off the nose. It looks like it's just completed a turn. Hopefully it'll stay on that bearing for a while. I really hate when I get to the Stennis, which is usually this happens. I'll get to the Stennis and I'll be just setting up for a landing and then it'll start turning on me. Or it'll wait until I'm just about to touch down and then start turning, which is not very pleasant to have happen. Especially when you're kind of low on fuel and don't have enough to really go around. So you've got to put the thing on the deck the first try. 3,400 pounds. Still consuming about 3,000 per hour. It feels like a lot more than that somehow, but that is apparently our fuel consumption. Should have, I believe, another probably 2 hours before the server restarts. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay on this server for that long. I do feel like getting some other aircraft in tonight as well. But it's hard to say no to the Tomcat. It's a fun plane to fly. It's a unique plane to fly. And it just looks really nice. That's the most important thing. You've got to look really good when you're flying. Like so. 48 miles. Oh, nearly there. Yeah, it really is. It's absolutely beautiful. And it sits right in that happy sort of medium zone where it's not quite one of the old-fashioned gunfighters, but it's also not quite modern. It's still got the great big jail bars on the canopy. It still looks a little, you know, rough and ready. I love that about the Tomcat. Mass conserve is 225 knots, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm not too fussed. I'm kind of in a hurry to get to the carrier just because I have no attention span. And I'm pretty sure I got the fuel to do it, so once I get below maybe 2,500 I might throttle back, but for now I'm good. Because I do remember during the fighter pilot podcast interview with the Tomcat crew, they said that to actually fly at max E they had to have the wings fully swept forwards, but then they had to pull the circuit breaker on the flap control, otherwise the automatic flaps had come out. Which unfortunately we can't do yet in DCS, but I believe people are planning to model some of the circuit breakers in the future, which should be interesting. Certainly give the Rio something to keep him busy when he's not busy operating the radar, that's for sure. There's so many circuit breakers in that back seat, man. It's not funny. It's just so many. And then if you pull the wrong one, ooh, that would be bad. Got another friendly aircraft just off the nose here, tracking probably about towards Sochi somewhere. Can't see him, he's probably above the clouds. Can you be in the back seat? Yeah, you can. There is multi-crew. They also made a whole new AI, and this is the first time this has been done for DCS, to occupy the back seat if you don't have a human player. So I have Jester in the back, and I can tell him to do things. He's not as functional as a real human Rio, he's not real great at his job, but I think the main thing Jester provides, rather than full functionality over the aircraft systems, is feeling like you're not alone in the aircraft, because that's the thing that's always bugged me about multi-seat aircraft in different games, especially things like IL-2. You might have a two-seat aircraft, but the seat next to you is empty. There's not even like a model of an AI there, and if there is, he doesn't do anything. Whereas with Jester, he'll talk to you. I mean, he's quiet at the moment, probably because he's daydreaming about Meg Ryan, but he'll give you feedback on your landings, he'll tell you where enemy aircraft are. Once they get within visual range, he'll start giving you call-outs as to where they are in direct relation to you. He'll talk a bit of shit as well. You know, it's nice, it gives the aircraft a bit of character. But yeah, you can definitely have a human in the back seat. There's still some minor issues with it. It's a feature that isn't really well adapted to DCS. There's only a couple of multi-crew aircraft and most of them are just trainers. The Tomcat's really the first full-fledged combat aircraft with multi-seat. I think the Gazelle has it too, but the Gazelle is not quite as complex as this thing. And having a actual human player in the backseat makes all the difference in the world in combat. It's really, really great. $20 miles. Should start seeing the Stennis soon. Probably won't have the lights on though, since it's allegedly broad daylight. This is a problem with Georgia. Well, there's a lot of problems with the Georgia war server, but one of the main ones is there's only 2 types of weather, and I don't know why. I think it's the way they've set up the dynamic weather in the mission file. Or it might not even be dynamic, it might just be fixed. But there's either totally clear, beautiful, sunny day weather, or there's this, which is just complete overcast. Today the cloud base is at least relatively high off the deck. It's probably about 8,500, 9,000 feet off the deck, and the cloud ceiling today is 10,000 feet. Some days you get the cloud base below 2,000, which is a real nightmare, because you just have no idea if you're going to crash into a mountain when you come out of a dive. But on the other hand, if you're above it on one of the low cloud base days, it looks incredible because the mountains just peek up from between the clouds like these islands in this great big white sea. It's gorgeous. DCS has many flaws, but I tell you what, it is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played, even on medium settings. Like this on high settings, I can't run it, but I've seen it, and it's just unbelievable. Okay, it looks like the Stennis is off to the right slightly. 11 miles, there she is. Alright, well I'm going to put in a radio call and try and coax the Stennis into putting its lights on just to make my life easier.
Colt 8-1, inbound.
I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. Come off the power. I think that I'm heading into her stern, which is what I want to be doing. I'm not going to do a case 1 because I can't do a case 1 landing to save my life. It ends in tears, like, trust me. But I'm going to try straight in, which is what I can do, usually. So there's a lot that needs to go into landing the Tomcat. She doesn't have any auto trim. While you're on autopilot, you can kind of use that as auto trim, kind of, but not well. But there's no true auto trim system. It's a mechanical control aircraft. There is no fly-by-wire. There's no G-limiter. There's none of that stuff. The only thing the aircraft will do for you automatically is sweep the wings. And every time it does sweep its wings, that means you need to retrim it. So she's a bit of a handful. What's a case 1? That's the standard landing procedure for the US Navy's pilots. Basically, you come in alongside the carrier. I think it's 1,000 feet off the... 800 feet off the water, actually. Come up alongside the carrier on the right-hand side to get a look at the deck and see if there's anything on the landing area. As you pull, I think, a mile in front of the carrier, you turn left, drop the gear, the flaps, the speed brake, all that stuff. And then come around and gradually start descending through to about 600 feet. And once your wings are level with the stern of the carrier, you turn in and kind of do a hairpin turn onto final. There's like a whole separate language around naval aviation, especially for the US Navy. Okay, have they got the lights on? I can see the ball from here. Well, not the ball, but the landing light system. Doesn't look like the lights are on.
Colt 8-1, request landing.
I'm going to pop the brakes now. I'm probably too high, so I'm actually going to kind of do an orbit around to my left just to bleed some altitude and airspeed. It's not quite a standard, like it's a standard approach by Navy standards, but it's not quite a standard approach by normal aviation standards. And you do need to be able to do a lot of things at once, because it's a very precise kind of maneuver. And you get graded on every landing you make in the US Navy. Every single one. Got to try not to lose visual of the ship. That wouldn't go very well for me. I do have the speed brake out. I probably could have waited until I'd completed my orbit to do it, but that would have been a smart thing to do, and I'm not a smart man. I also don't want to get too low. Okay, I'm going to start coming off the power now because I need to slow down to about 200 knots, I think it is, to drop my flaps and gear. I want to stay on the right side of the carrier since the landing deck is angled off to the left. Okay, still above 200 knots, so we'll bring the speed down a little more. Kind of far out, so I'm just going to put a little power back on to make the distance. Okay, flaps out. Got to really retrim the aircraft here. She is a handful. Hook would help. Good thing I remembered, because I almost didn't. Okay, that's down. So my carrier landings tend to be quite fast, because I'm just not very experienced at doing them. You might not be able to see it, but just like in the heading tape next to the 4 at the moment is an E-shaped bracket. That is how you hold your landing attitude. So you basically want to hold the E bracket on the nose heading icon in the middle of the HUD, because that means you're on speed, on angle of attack for landing. You want to come in 15 degrees angle of attack, but like I said, I'm not very good at this. Oh my god, why are the lights still off? Please turn them on.
Colt, 8-1, request landing.
Oh, this might be messy. Yep, they're not going to turn them on. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Okay. DLC then trim. Yeah, good idea. Pretty much all my flight simming experience is land-based. I very rarely do naval stuff. It's only really since the Tomcats come out that I've started doing any. I'm getting too slow and too low. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. And I can hardly see what I'm doing, because the lights are off and the weather is crap. Okay, she's starting to wing rock. That is not a good sign in the Tomcat. It means you're getting too slow. This is a really flat approach. I think I might get away with it. Bolter! Oh, and that was a really bad angle to come off the deck.
I know you're up on go pills, but I kind of want to get back to the boat, please.
Thanks, Jester. Oh, and after I made my first carrier night landing yesterday with no issues, I then managed to fuck up a daytime landing. Great. On stream, in front of everybody. I'm going to try and retrim the aircraft. She wants to climb because of all the trim I put on while I was landing. I'm going to put a bit of distance between myself and the boat. Not as much as last time, maybe. And I'm getting quite low, so I need to make sure that I get this one. Okay, hook's still down. Brake out. Yeah, I did have the DLC out, but I was probably a bit too slow on it. I waited until the last moment to try and use it. Oh, this is such a bad approach. Oh my goodness, this is a bad approach. Okay, off the power. I'll regain a little of the altitude I lost there. Trade airspeed for altitude. pop the flaps in gear now because I really need to get draggy in a hurry. DLC out. I'm not even on for the deck, I'm way off to the wrong side of it. Okay. Coming in too flat. Come on. More power.
I think you slammed it down so hard it bounced the LSO off the deck. I'll take it, it's a 2-wire.
Okay, well, we're down, at least. Okay, we're going to rearm and refuel and head up for another flight.
Request refueling.
I think after this flight, depending how much fuel I've got, I might land at one of the airports rather than on the carrier. Since I'm now drenched in sweat after that attempt, that was a bit of a mess. But hey, at least we made it down. Thinking about getting back into DCS, dusting off the X52. A bit worried about lack of head tracking, but a HOTAS. I wouldn't worry too much about the HOTAS. Honestly, you can get by with pretty much any stick, and if you fly the older aircraft like I do, you don't really need all that many buttons. I mean, I'm talking out my arse because I have a Thrustmaster Warthog, but you don't really need all of the fancy bells and whistles. Like, I just bind stuff to the HOTAS because I have it, but a lot of it you don't need. As far as head tracking goes, put it this way, somebody I know who flies the F-18 a lot only just got track IR, and before his track IR arrived in the post, he was still, like, absolutely destroying one of the other good Hornet pilots I know in dogfights. If you are comfortable with what you have, then yeah, track IR will always be better, and it'll always be something that once you've used it, you can't go back. But it's not 100% essential. Like, it's strongly recommended, but it's not absolutely critical. And it depends what you're flying as well. Like, if you're flying sort of real close-range BFM stuff and getting in dogfights, then yeah, you kind of want it. But if you're ground pounding, or even to an extent flying the Tomcat, and just playing the long-range missile carrier, you don't really need track IR that much. Guy's taking a long time to hook in. I guess he must be waiting for his INS to land in or something. Still fueling. Takes a while in the F-14. Let's see what's going on the map. So we actually own... We own a hell of a lot of airports. But Toomey is showing as neutral, but there's a target marked on it. So all of these ones down here, I guess, are neutral. Oh, there we go. He's got the blast deflector up. Let's watch his takeoff. When he gets around to it. Oh, there we go. That looks like a salute. Or he was just looking around the cockpit. The F-14 is kind of unique as well in that the aircrew are actually fully animated, so you can see the crew leaning around as well as just turning their heads, which is nice. I'm hoping more aircraft in DCS do that. He's definitely taking his time. In fact, he hasn't even unswept his wings yet. I wonder if he realizes this. Took me a while to realize it, which is embarrassing. See him looking around there. Jeez, by the time he gets off the deck, I might be ready to take off again. Just gotta wait for missiles now, and then we're good to go. No need to realign the INS, because we never switched off. I'll tell Jester to switch the back radio back to the AWACS frequency.
Alright.
Okay, missiles are back on. We are good to go. I might go for one of the waste cats just so I give him some space. I do get the jitters every time I try and taxi this thing around the carrier. My rudder pedals are kind of janky and don't work properly, so I can't steer very tightly to the left, and my steering to the right kind of glitches on and off. It makes it pretty harrowing trying to line up on a catapult, or turn around to park up somewhere out of the way. He still hasn't sorted his wings out. Probably be back in the air before he is, actually. A little bit further. Gotta go. Alright, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed your stay. What am I doing? No strut. Right here. Okay, before I hook up, wings out so I don't forget. And we're hooked. Okay, I've got to sort out my trim as well. Okay, right about there. Flaps. Oh, he's getting ready to go. I might watch his launch. Ah, he's already gone. I missed it. Okay, we want him up. Everything looks good. Give the salute, and here we go.
There's, yes, that's a friendly, Bra 085, 90 miles, Angels 35, and a Bandit, Bra 075, 165 miles, 33,000, and a friendly, Bra 055, 165 miles, Angels 18.
While we're heading over to intercept, let's see the trap sheet from that
Bandit
landing.
2-ship, Bra 110, 150 miles, 2,500.
Oh my god, look at that. What a mess. I'm not sure what this business is. I think the server might have lagged or something. But, yeah, that was not a good landing at all.
There is a Bandit 2-ship, Bra 110, 155 miles.
Okay. Enemies off the nose.
Roger.
He's already set to 200 miles. Got two friendlies tracking right out of my radar, and one enemy left of it. That's quite far out.
Friendly, Bra, 050, 83 miles, Angels 1.
I'm glad nobody else was a crack that out with me.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1. Request bogey dope. Colt 8-1. Overlord, Bra, 0604110. Dap 35,000. Flanking.
Oh, there we go. Now the bot's woken up. Took its time. At least he's working now. He went on strike yesterday. For some reason, the bot app disconnected itself from Beepsky's Twitch account. I don't know why. I was wondering why all my commands weren't working, and then I went and checked and realized it wasn't connected anymore. Now he's reconnected, he's just not talking as much as he should be. Because he should have put that link in earlier. Oh well. Okay, we got some trade off the nose now. Just gonna let the aircraft gently climb its way over there. Do a quick nav check. So I'm gonna go feet dry at Tuapse and head out to whatever those Patriots are shooting at. Something's coming in from probably out this way by the tanker. Which means the tanker might be in a bit of danger there. More enemy off the right side as well.
We've got a bandit, Bra, 080, 110 miles. Roger that. Got him, STT.
I normally don't like single target tracking people this far out.
Target,
with a human
80
Rio, I
miles.
would stay in track while scan, but Jester's not very good at doing that, and unlike a human Rio, I can't tell Jester,
Heads
hey,
up, nailed.
you have the
12
missiles,
o'clock.
use them at your discretion. So, yeah, basically I have to try and get Jester to put the radar in the right mode for me to use the missiles, because he will not fire them himself, sadly. Now, hopefully in the future Heat Blur will add a menu for the Phoenixes like they added for the air-to-ground weapons, so you can tell Jester, like, arming settings and so on. So it would be ideal that I could just say to Jester, look, if something enemy crosses our nose within 40 miles, track while scan it, and drop a Phoenix. Simple. That's what I usually do with my human Rios. Okay, he lost lock on that, but there's still enemy off the nose.
Okay. Got him locked.
He's way down. He's climbing back up, though. 67 miles.
Target, 65 miles.
Forgot I was still in the takeoff HUD mode. There we go.
I lost lock.
God damn it, Jester.
Roger. Roger that. Unable to do that.
Oh, come on, Jester.
Yes, sir. Okay. I have a lock.
There we go.
Watch it! Friendly!
As in, that's a friendly? Or
Target, 59 miles.
Nope, that's enemy. There must be a friendly right next to it or something.
Oh, I got nails on our nose, 12 o'clock.
I'm not sure what these U's are on the RWR. I'm assuming it stands for
Okay,
unknown, but I don't know
nails,
what
2
would be
o'clock, 3
unknown.
o'clock?
Unless maybe they broke the RWR with the last patch somehow. I don't
Target, 51 miles.
know. 51 miles. I'll tell him to bring
I
the
lost
radar
lock.
range in a bit.
Wilco. Missile, missile, missile! 1 o'clock.
What?
Hot! Brake right! Oh wait, sorry, brake left!
Jesus, Jester! Now is not the time. Is my RWR not working? What's going on here? Actually, it has been worryingly silent.
That's nails, 2 o'clock.
There we go. I don't know. I don't know what Jester's on about. He sometimes sees missiles that he shouldn't be able to see, and he'll call missiles that aren't coming anywhere near you.
I can't do that.
God damn it.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1. Request bogey dope.
Zero 054 for 50.
Yes, sir. Alright, nails, 5 o'clock. Copy that.
So it's this guy off the right that AWACS is guiding me onto.
Okay. No can do.
Oh, come on, Jester.
You got it. I can't do that.
Why not? What is wrong? We'll try center,
Roger.
middle.
Okay.
Oop.
Roger. Negative, not able.
Jester, come on.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1.
It's roughly
Request
co-out
bogey
with
dope.
this. Oh, it just dropped off the radar. That's always great. Someone else might have splashed it, maybe? I don't know. Still showing enemy on the data link to the left.
Yes, sir.
Overlord, Colt, 8-1. Request bogey dope.
Bandit, 060, 82 miles.
Well, the AWACS can't see him, apparently.
Wilco. Nah, I can't do that.
What is going on?
Overlord, Uzi, 9-1. Request bogey dope.
Roger that.
Friendly 2 ships, Bra, 315, 7 miles, Angel 7. Alright. Unable.
Can't even lock that guy, apparently. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I just lost my connection. This is the worst thing about playing DCS, is the servers tend to be unstable, the connection's really sensitive, so you can lose it easily, and the game tends to crash a bit. Like, it's a great game, but it's so frustrating sometimes trying to play it. At least I was able to get one flight in undisturbed, but sometimes I'll lose connection 3 or 4 times within half an hour and just give up. I don't really feel like reconnecting to Georgia at war at this point, to be honest with you. So, let's see. I might go to... Oh god, no, there's way too many people on that server. There'll be nothing left for me to kill. Even through the Inferno West is kind of busy, so we'll see if anyone's on Cold War. Sadly not. We'll check DDCS Bush War. Empty again. Still a couple players on Growling Sidewinder server. I have no idea how to do PvP, but I guess we could try it for a while. I'm definitely not a very experienced or talented jet pilot. I come mostly from a World War II background. So I'm pretty good once I get in close with guns, but missiles are voodoo magic to me. I still haven't worked out what the best position is to fire them or how to best avoid them. I know a lot of the theory, I just can't translate it into practice for whatever reason. But the only way to improve that is practice a lot. So yeah, may as well jump on a PvP server and get my ass kicked for a while. I'm usually a lot more successful on the Cold War servers because I can fly the MiG-21, and my most dangerous opponent is going to be an F5 with very early generation AIM-9s, and they're pretty much an even match for the MiG-21. And it's very much a sort of gunfighting-oriented environment there. And the only missiles you get are really crap and barely work. I don't think this server has an SRS server, or if it does, it is like down every time I try and get on, so I'm not going to have comms with people, but that's alright. I think probably some servers use Discord for PvP stuff, so we'll not worry about that, so I can just minimize SRS for now. I think I'll take out a flanker, because that's what I'm most confident in. PvP in the Tomcat is not ideal. Basically, most people at the moment are just spamming Phoenixes because the Phoenix is kind of broken. So the tracking logic is copied from the AIM-120 at the moment, and it shouldn't be. So the Phoenix is much, much harder to avoid being hit with than it ought to be. Essentially, at the moment, the way it behaves in-game, it's just a better AIM-120, which is totally unrealistic. And so you get people carrying 6 Phoenixes and just letting them all off in a giant barrage and then turning and running. So I really want to do that. And then if I do get somebody who sneaks up and ends up within gun range of me, I'm in deep trouble because the Tomcat has quite bad forwards visibility and it is very demanding to fly in close combat. It can be done. An actual 2,000-hour US Navy pilot in a Tomcat could probably outfight anything. But your average DCS player really doesn't stand much of a chance in the Tomcat against other aircraft close in. From my own experience playing against Tawny and Nuts and my mate Justin, if I'm in the MiG-21 or the Mirage, I can basically just clean the floor with them without even trying. If I'm in the Tomcat, I'll struggle against anything, even another Tomcat to an extent, just because I don't have the experience in how to use it in that kind of environment. But it's not really a pilot skill thing either, because as soon as Tawny or Nuts or Justin jump into the F-18, I'm screwed. I can't do anything to stop them. So it's very much a demanding aircraft when it comes to using it effectively in close air combat. It wasn't really designed for close air combat anyway. People just kind of fixate on that because of Top Gun, but its primary purpose was exactly what you guys saw me doing, was just long-range missile carriage, basically, to intercept bombers before they could launch anti-ship missiles at the fleet and shoot them down from long range. The fact that it can actually fight pretty well is not 100% deliberate. Obviously, the Navy wanted a good, like, pretty decent multi-role aircraft, but it's very clear what the Tomcat was optimized towards, and it wasn't gunfighting. Server's taking forever to load into here, which is not a good sign. Really not a good sign. Either DCS might be frozen or the mission file is just going to cause me non-stop lag. Yeah, I might actually, if it'll let me, go back to the main menu, which I don't think it will let me. Alright, I'm going to restart the game real quick. I'm going to do a little bit of dogfighting in just like a single-player instant action mission against a Phantom in the MiG-21. So it's not going to be a huge challenge because the AI is pretty stupid, but it's enough of a challenge to be interesting, and I need all the practice I can get at dogfighting, really. So I'll do a little bit of that, and once I have done a little bit of that, I might either just finish the stream up and restart it later maybe, or I'll find something else to play. I did kind of feel like playing some World of Tanks earlier, even though I know I'll get frustrated after like 10 minutes, if that, but I am tempted to play it on stream a bit more. I was watching Stella play it earlier. That's pretty much what set me wanting to play it today. Which is weird, right? You'd think watching someone else play World of Tanks, especially someone who has the same kind of experience you do when it comes to teammates, you'd think watching that would discourage me from launching the game, but no, it made me get all nostalgic, weirdly enough. Unfortunately, as well, none of my usual Rios are on tonight, so what I try and do when I'm flying the Tomcat is I try and have an actual person in the back seat. I've got a little sort of a harem of about 4 or 5 different people that are training up as Rios, and I just take whoever's the first one to put their hand up for the evening, pretty much. It's good fun. It's always good fun having an actual friend sitting in the back seat. It also means if they fuck something up, I can mock them relentlessly for it. That does kind of cut both ways, though. Okay, so we're going to do the dogfight mission here, which will pit me against a single Phantom. It is an AI. But it spawns me in. I still have to manually cock my guns and everything, so I'm not 100% combat ready when I spawn. And then as I'm busy trying to arm the guns and get the radar set up, he's going to just whoop straight off out of my field of view. So half the challenge of dogfighting in the MiG-21 is actually trying to figure out where the enemy is. Your visibility is absolutely abysmal. You can't see very well forwards. You can't see upwards because there's a periscope above your head for seeing behind you. And you can't see behind you because the periscope can only see above the aircraft in a very narrow field of view. And there's no bulge to the canopy, so you can't just look behind you, sort of lean around and look behind you like you might in a World War II fighter. You can pretty much see kind of ahead and to the sides, and that's about it in the MiG-21, so it's a real challenge. Does Georgia at War have seed? It does. How good it is, I wouldn't know. Pom was trying to do some earlier, and I think he was kind of unimpressed with the placement of the ground units, but there is seed missions. Got the F-18? Nice. That should be enough to keep you busy for a while learning all the systems in that thing, I would think. Okay, where's our Phantom? Turn the brightness up on this gun sight too. He's behind me, he's locking me wherever he is. I see absolutely nothing. Oh, there he is. Shit. That was a bit close. And I've lost him again. Oh, there he is. See what I mean? You just cannot see what is going on outside with this plane. So that's why you really want a ground controller to talk you onto targets. If you've got one, then it's great, you can ambush people. But otherwise, you're in deep trouble. I've lost him again. So, there's a really unique skill set that goes into flying the MiG-21 in close air combat. You've got to really develop a feel for the aircraft. You can corner quite well and turn inside people at high speed. So about this speed, I can just pull back on the stick and not worry. I do bleed speed quite fast, but I can sustain the turn for a while. Whereas at low speed, you can't sustain a turn, but you can pull very steep angles of attack to get snapshots on people. But you've got to have a real good feel for when the aircraft's about to depart controlled flight, because it will do it. Those little blinking red lights there either side of the windscreen are your only warning until you actually feel the aircraft kind of break loose. Oh, there we go. This is going to be a head-on pass. I'll feed a bit of rudder in to try and keep him from getting a good shot, and I've just about thrown myself into a spin there. Oopsie daisies. There he is, he's behind me. I'm too slow, I can't sustain these turns, so the aircraft keeps stalling. I'm in my second stage emergency afterburner as well, so I'm chewing through fuel like you would not believe. There he is. It's quite hard to see against the ground there. But I've got him slow as well. The Phantom has the same problem. It cannot do slow flight. But unlike the MiG-21, it also can't just reef its nose upwards. Okay, I'm starting to get the advantage here. As long as I don't run out of fuel, I'm in a good position. I haven't got the gyro computing set up on the gun sight because I find it just impossible to use. It's kind of laggy. It's like it does a lag pursuit on the target instead of a pure pursuit. Even using the radar to range and scale the target. So I prefer to just use the fixed net or fixed pipper when I'm trying to kill things with MiG-21's guns. Now he's going to try and go vertical, and he does have a bit of an advantage there because he has 2 engines to my 1. But every time he does it, it lets me pull in a little closer on his tail. And because I played so many World War II sims, high angle deflection shooting is one of my specialties. Little off. Still a little off. We'll get there. I'm getting a little bit of wing rock. The Tomcat does that too, but the MiG-21 does it much sooner. Of course, I've just said I specialise in high-angle shooting, and I'm missing every shot I take tonight. But usually I will hit this. I'm a bit out of practice. Okay, kick the nose over. There we go. Is he ejected or is he still flying? I think he's still flying. It's hard to tell. One of the other things you've got to be careful of in the MiG-21 is not to subject the engine to 0 or negative G, especially in afterburner, because you only have an 80-litre tank that feeds while you're inverted. So you can flame out the engine very easily by pulling negative G in afterburner. I'm going to break off that, that's too close. His engine is out, I'd say. I can't tell if he's ejected or not. I didn't see a seat come out, but I don't imagine the AI would still be flying that. The AI usually ejects if they've taken any real battle damage at all. There. Now he's ejected. 2 seats, 2 shoots. Right, let's go again. I like to run through this a couple times just to kind of get my eye in for the deflection and get used to handling the MiG-21 in close combat again. It's good fun. Good practice. Okay, I immediately lost him there. Like me, he has a very smoky engine, but as soon as he goes into afterburner, I lose the smoke trail. Because, you know, as you might imagine, the afterburner exists to burn off all the excess exhaust and the fuel being injected back into it. I think he just pulled an orbit around onto my tail. I can't see him. And my track IR's playing up again. So you might have noticed like a really distinct jolt there. That's how you can tell when you pulled the stick back too long in the MiG-21. That is what it's like when it's departing control. But the usual solution to that is to just let go of the stick and the aircraft will fix itself. It's simple. As long as you have enough altitude, the MiG-21 will usually recover itself from a stall. And it's very hard to put it into a spin that you can't recover from. He's on my tail, there he is, and he's shooting at me. Try and force an overshoot here, using one method I know. The only problem with doing that is I have lost visual on him again. So he's just going to pull back in on my tail. There he is. Okay, now we're in business. I'm not sure why he would want to get into a rolling scissors with a MiG-21, given how small my wings are and how well that makes me roll. But if he wants to sign his own death warrant, he's welcome to. Almost lost him, he's down on the ground there. And we have a really good opportunity here, as he comes back up, to just slip in. I'm going to overshoot him slightly, but that's okay. Into a vertical scissors, and he's going to cross my nose. There we go. Don't want to pull too hard. It does help that he keeps popping flares whenever I get behind him. It's nice of him, very considerate. Okay, he's going to cross over the top again. The AI does get quite predictable. I don't want to pull too hard. Give the aircraft a chance to recover some airspeed. And into a slight lag pursuit. Every time he does this, I gain on him slightly, and it gives me a chance to get a snapshot in. So he's going to go up again. We're going to pull a little bit of lead, not too much, just to keep the nose on him. And as I get close, I'm going to kick the nose over and put a burst in. And out he goes. The MiG-21 has no BVR capability whatsoever, so outside of visual range, it's easy meat for anything that cares to shoot at it, especially because its RWR is so useless. But, and this is a very big but, once it gets close and especially within a mile or two, the MiG-21 is one of the most dangerous aircraft in the game. It's incredibly small, so it's very hard to see. It's quite fast, and it can pull maneuvers that even an Su-27 might not be able to pull, just because the Su-27 can do the Alpha, but it doesn't have the responsiveness in the controls that the 21 does. It is a real underestimated opponent, and it's very dangerous. I think I'll do one more of those, and might think about playing something else. Can't see him at all. It would be easier if it was a head-on merge and you could watch him all the way through the merge, but because he spawns slightly in front of you and off to one side, it's so hard to keep him in sight. Especially since you have to reach down to cock the guns. There he is. The AI, like a lot of players, won't take high-angle deflection shots. They just won't do it. You can kind of spot the guys that play World War II sims because they're the ones that will take snapshots at you. And quite often they'll hit. Okay, so I've got enough speed up that I can just pull around and turn inside him. And I'm still maintaining that speed. So about 900 to 1,000 kilometers an hour, the MiG-21 excels in a turn fight. But, there we go, I bled too much speed, and as soon as you hit 500 in that kind of turn, I've just lost all the progress I made, so I got a little too greedy there. That's alright though. Just gotta give the aircraft a moment to recover. He's not in a position to get a shot on me yet, so it's not a big deal. Scissor back in towards him. Over the top. Once again, I'm behind him. He's going to do his little loop here to try and get on my tail. I don't have the energy to actually follow him up and close with him, but I have just enough to stop him from being able to loop back down onto my tail. And in fact, I can almost keep the sight on him through that turn. As we come back down and I start picking up speed, I can start pulling a little harder. Now he's in trouble. Although, I think he may have actually rolled out under my nose. Yep, he has. There he is. The MiG-21's nose is quite long and very straight in front of the cockpit. You can't look over it like you can with the Tomcat or the F4. So if he goes under my nose, I have very little chance of actually seeing what he's doing. So anytime someone crosses under your nose and they don't come out where you expect them to, just roll the aircraft over to look for them. You can't afford to lose sight in this thing at all. He could roll out here, but he's not even doing that. He's just doing straight vertical loops, which is really not a good strategy against anything, let alone a MiG-21. Not enough lead. There we go. And he's ejected. Alright, I think I will maybe, if it's actually up to date, try some tanks. Hello! Caught me just as I was getting off DCS there. I'm gonna try and see if World of Tanks is up to date, and if it is, I might suffer through that for a couple matches, just because it's been a while since I played it. Yeah, sorry about that. I was playing on Georgia at War in the F-14 and I lost my connection, so I was going to go on Growling Sidewinders PvP, and then I couldn't connect to that, so I just decided to wrap up with a couple of dogfights against a Phantom, and then try something else. But never fear, I will be streaming tomorrow as well, so you'll probably be able to catch quite a bit of DCS there. Not sure what I'll be flying. I think Tawny will be streaming tomorrow as well, so if he's on, I'll be doing some dogfights against him. Would do, if it actually was something that behaved itself a bit better with OBS, I was going to jump on Cliffs of Dover, IL2 Cliffs of Dover, but to set that up for streaming is a nightmare, because sometimes OBS picks up the game window, sometimes OBS doesn't, and I have to restart each of them like 5 times to get it to work, and then as soon as I start a new mission, it breaks again. So it's one of those games I'd love to be able to stream more often, but the handful of times I've got it to work, it's been so frustrating, it's just turned me off doing it totally. I don't know why the game runs in like 3 separate windows the way it does, but it's just really frustrating. Sure if DCS is frozen or if it just takes a while to connect to this server. It's hard to tell sometimes. I think it's frozen. Alright, you know what? We will do War Thunder. Fuck it. Let me just set this up. If this is out of date, I'm going to scream. But I just updated it the other day, so it should be good. Sorry for the delay, guys. I know it can be a bit frustrating, but I don't really plan these things ahead very much. I probably should, but here we are. Okay, War Thunder's up to date, thank goodness. I might do probably some tanks, I think. I mostly do arcade stuff in War Thunder just because I find RB isn't that fun without another person to play with. Especially with the tanks. So I come from games where you have 2 or 3 actual players inside a tank, like Red Orchestra, or Armor. And so I don't have to worry about driving the tank. I don't have to worry about aiming the gun. I just tell the gunner where to aim. Or if I am the gunner, I have someone telling me, hey, there's a target over here, and you know, I only need to tell the driver, hey, stop here, or drive forwards 5 meters, or whatever. In War Thunder, because you're controlling the entire tank, it kind of overloads my brain a bit. I can't drive and shoot and look for targets all at the same time. I can do one of those things at a time. So RB in tanks tends to be a bit of an unpleasant experience for me. I'll get killed over and over by things I don't see just because I can't physically multitask that well. And then air battles, War Thunder's flight models are shockingly bad. Like shockingly bad, and don't even start me on their damage models. So for me, RB and simulator simulator in War Thunder aren't really that enjoyable either. I do play RB occasionally, but mostly it's just War Thunder's something I do to jump on and kind of mess around. It's not a serious investment of time for me. If I want to play a simulator, or if I want to set up my stick and throttle and everything, which I might actually get out of my way now, I will do that with DCS or IL2 or something else that is actually a proper simulator. As my broken headphones fall off. Give me a sec, guys. Like I said, pro streamer, totally prepared. Check out my track IR, by the way. This is the only way to hold one of these things together after you've had it for more than about a year. They break so easily. Like the camera is solid and the system works well, but the actual track IR headset is so fragile. It's very badly designed. And far be it from me to be cynical, but it's almost like it's designed so flimsily so that you have to spend $50 on a new one every second year. Okay. Probably play some Soviet tanks. I do enjoy my T-64s. And try and disentangle this mess in front of me. Alright, there we go. Very high quality streaming setup I have here. Pretty much half my setup's broken. My headphones are broken. My track IR is broken. My microphone, which I'm not going to put in front of the camera because even breathing on the thing will cause it to come unplugged, that's broken. I've got a dead pixel on my monitor, which is so badly placed, I keep thinking it's another aircraft whenever I play DCS. Very, very high quality professional stream. Like, very high quality. I only just fixed my bot today because it was broken yesterday. My PC is constantly shitting the bed. Oh boy, okay, let's take... oh, I'm out of premium too. That's going to kind of suck. But let's do this. I'll take the T-64 out for a spin. War Thunder is kind of hit and miss with me. It's fun to play, but it wants to be something it's not. It wants to be super, super realistic simulator. It's not. And it never will be. Like, the flight models are broken. The damage models for the tanks are broken. They need to just stop trying to be all things to all men, and pick a niche and stick with it. And aside from that, there is the issue of the economy. The economy in War Thunder is shockingly bad. So World of Tanks doesn't have a great economy, but at least in World of Tanks, I only need to grind down a single line to get the vehicle I want. In War Thunder, you have eras, so you have to grind all this extra shit you don't want, which at least in the Soviet tree stuff I did want, but in a lot of trees there's, like, I might only want a medium tank, and I have to grind a heavy tank, and then a tank destroyer, and then an anti-aircraft vehicle, and then another heavy tank to get to it. And I don't know why they organize the system that way, other than to get people to waste more time playing the game, and encourage them to spend money more to get things in a hurry, but it's so frustrating. It makes it really hard to get stuck into War Thunder. Like, I'll play it for maybe a week or two and I'll just get bored and quit, because there's no fun grinding to anything in this game. And I'm hoping at some point they'll change that and take a serious look at the economy, but I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest with you. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Now, the other issue is because of my time zone, I'm not sure I'm going to get any matches at this time of day. We might be waiting for a while. I'm not actually sure if dropping tier will help, but we'll try it. What have I got for mid-tier? We'll try this. There's barely any difference, 27 players to 20, but at least we got into a match. I haven't played any of this lower tier stuff for quite a long time though, so this should be an interesting experience. Oh no! I still got my track IR plugged in. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Right. This is going to be entertaining. There we go. I forgot that I had that enabled in Wehr Funder. And I think I have a better gun sight for this thing too. Let's try this. It's Soviet Union drive upside down tank, yeah. Yeah, that would have been an interesting new perspective on Wehr Funder ground battles. I don't think it would have gone very well for me though. God damn it. Oh, that was a bad shot, but at least he doesn't seem to have noticed me. I'm so used to having a stabilizer. Because I mostly play Cold War tanks in this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Got out of there just in time. Probably going to drive into an ambush over here, but oh well. There's a couple guys over there. Try and find some cover over this way and work my way around them while they're distracted with the friendlies by the cap zone. Oh, I got one behind me. Close behind me. There we go. Good thing I spotted him. Well, that could have been very embarrassing. There's a medium over there. I don't really want to play with him. And that is kind of close to their spawn as well. Okay, I'm taking hits from behind, so I need to back off. Actually, I think that's coming from over there, from the side. I'm just gonna run. Find myself some cover, get that crew member back, and repair the tank. And I think the game has reset a bunch of my key bindings, because I think I had repair bound to R before.
Victory is near.
They're trying to sandwich me here. Thankfully it's a quick repair. Okay, his load is down at least. But I'm worried that Panzer's gonna roll up on me. Yep, like that. Probably should have actually waited on that extinguisher. I'm dead. I'm very dead. Yeah. Oh well. I kind of bit off a bit more than I could chew there. As usual. Big surprise. And dead. Wow, that was useful. At least nobody rolled up on me while I was doing that. Okay, we got him. Got friendlies on the cap, so I'm just going to flank around these guys. Hopefully without driving face first into a heavy. Although knowing my luck, I will. Ah, someone else got that guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Okay, yes he does. There we go. I might go back to the higher tier stuff and see if I can actually get a match in that, because I really do want to play my T64. It's just that there might be a bit of a wait. Just give it a little while longer, and if I can't get something, I will jump back into the lower tier, I guess. What's this? Ah, I-180S. Oh great, they're doing another event for a thing that I'm never gonna have, because I don't have time to grind in this game. Joy of joys, and it's an aircraft I'd actually like to get as well, the I-180. Not even selling it as a premium, naturally. I really hate when they do these special events, because it would be one thing if it was like, oh, you can get this vehicle and it might only be sold on the store once a year or something, or it'll be really expensive or whatever, but it's not that, it's literally... and unless you put a shitload of time and effort into not only playing the game to unlock it, but possibly going on to the marketplace thing, whatever the fuck it is they've got. Like, I haven't got time to do that, and I don't want to spend... Like, it's just a better way of nickel and diming you, rather than a one-time payment for a premium. Like, they're going to try and get even more out of you buying part by part. It's just ridiculous. I hate that kind of system. I'd really like an IS-7, but I don't have one, and I will never get one. I'd really like an I-180, but I don't have one, and I'll probably never get one. Thanks, Gaijin. To be fair, World of Tanks did the same stuff with Clan Wars reward tanks, and I hated that as well, especially with the T-22, because people just... Like, people literally rigged games to get the T-22, and then, rather than taking theirs away and giving it to the next people down on the mission list... Wargaming just said, oh, well, actually, they can keep theirs, but we're going to remove the tank from the game, and so the only people who can play it are the people that already have one. Which is just a really shitty move. Especially since most of the people that got it had no idea how to actually play it well. Just to make it that little bit more infuriating. I really hate how they changed T-64's sound. Like, it originally had the T-64's authentic pained 5-cylinder screaming, and then they made that so quiet you can't hear it and gave it a whistle back like it's got a turbine in it. Like, why? It sounded amazing before. Roll. This guy's distracted. He's being pushed from the other side. There we go. I love this thing. I really love this thing. The T-64 is hands down my favorite Cold War tank. The Centurion is second in that list, but the T-64 is just head and shoulders above everything else. It is a beautiful machine. And an interesting one. It had a very troubled development, and that just adds character as far as I'm concerned. You know, I don't like things because they're the best, I like them because they're the most interesting. Or the prettiest. Or both. Whoa, shit. Don't think he knows I'm here. I hope neither of them know I'm here. Okay, they know I'm here. Yeet!
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
Ah! He got me. Well, that was a pretty decent run at least. Ooh, look at this artillery bait right here. Oh, those aren't friendly. Okay, I don't want to sit still here. I really don't want to sit still here. Got him. There's another off my left somewhere, but it's the guys on the right that are the bigger danger, I think. Got him. One more over here on the right. Keep my nose pointed at the guy on the left. Oh, no, he's getting pretty close. Got him. Holy shit. T-64 supremacy. Got him. Holy fuck. What the fuck? Oh, this thing is so good. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I almost feel bad for doing this. Almost. Almost. But not quite. Oh shit. Now I'm in trouble. I got the MBT at least. Oh my lord. Oh, this tank. It is a thing of beauty and power. I think one of them might be burning. Oh no, it's the artillery that's doing damage. Man, alright. Let's go T-55. I'd go Object 906 and get all Predator on them, but they're winning a bit too hard for that. Ooh. Actually, let's take a helicopter. Let's have some real fun with these. to remember how to do this shit, because it's been a while. Got him. Damaged the chieftain, but didn't kill him. Ah, they get so hard to control right in the last little bit. That should get him. Nope. And I'm not good at flying helicopters. Ooh. Bit too long to get in one clip. I could always highlight it later, I guess. T64.avi. It is such a good tank. It has its weaknesses, but man, its strengths are just something else. It's so fast and it moves so well. I mean, this is arcade, granted, but even in RB, it is so agile and so quick. And that gun, oh, the gun is so powerful. And quick firing for what... Oh god, that's an IS-7. On my position, please. Yep. That was about the worst thing to run headlong into. But hey, I think my team are going to lose this, but I tried. I really tried. The T64 really plays well to my kind of play style. I mean, it's so quick. You can pop up in places people don't expect and really seize good, important positions through aggressive gameplay. I mean, it also lets you overextend like an idiot, which is the other thing I'm very good at, but it suits me well. I enjoy it. Let's see if we can get another match, since there do seem to be people playing high tiers now. I might give it a minute, and if I don't get a match, I'll switch back to low tiers and just alternate, I suppose. As far as the pattern goes, yeah, they look all right. They don't have the sheer good looks of the T64, but there's something about the pattern that I like. The M48 and M60 especially. The M46 not so much. One of the other things I hate about this game is the fact you have to actually research spare parts and fire extinguishers. That is such a stupid system. Better ammunition is one thing, but like essential equipment to actually be able to continue playing the game, because if you don't have a fire extinguisher and you get lit on fire, your tank is dead. If you don't have repair kit and you get detracked, you're fucked. Or if your gun gets damaged, you're screwed. Your tank is basically a paperweight. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, like, technically other players can help repair your tank, but nobody does. 20 players should get a match. I'll just leave it a little bit longer, because I really want to try and get a repeat performance of that. I do find in open maps I'm a lot less ridiculous. The T64 does do well in open maps, but on urban maps, because you have such good speed and the tank is quite responsive on the controls, you can just come whipping around a corner and pound a shell straight into somebody, reload in like 3 seconds, and then pop another guy next to them. A lot of tanks just don't have the agility to do that. I have never played this map before, so this should be interesting. The map's called Alaska. Are there skyscrapers in Alaska? I mean, maybe in Anchorage, but I feel like this is not a very Alaskan cityscape. Okay, I just gotta watch myself early game that I don't get too aggressive in the 64 and put myself out in the open. Which I will do quite often, with predictable results. He's having a bad day. He's having a really bad day. Oh, he's got a friend over there. Okay, this is a bit risky here because I'm exposed, like so. Right, in we go, back into cover.
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
I lost some of my ERA, but that's not really a concern. I do prefer the aesthetics of the T-64B without the ERA. The BV is cool looking, but just something about the T-64's lines. It's a really pretty tank, and the ERA kind of subtracts from that a little, in my opinion. Now, with the T-80, the T-80U is definitely the best looking variant of that tank, and that is all ERA. It's covered in the stuff. You know, I often wonder what a clusterfuck this game would be if they actually made, like, just for one day, made the gun barrels have collision with stuff. I kind of want to see it now. I mean, well, the tanks would be an even bigger clusterfuck if they did that, but I just want to see it. Just for a day. And it would work against me as much as anybody else, because it's just something you don't really think about, even though you know it's there. This tank! Especially after grinding British tanks, where British ammo is, like, useless because Gaijin have a hate boner for the British. It's incredible. I just one-shot everything in the T-64, and one-shotting stuff in arcade is, like, really weird to me. It's really rare in the British tanks, but in the fucking T-64, you one-shot almost everything. I mean, to be fair, I am hitting a lot of stuff center of mass in their ammo rack, so that helps. But it's just such a powerful gun with such high penetration. It goes clean through them. Like they don't have any armor there at all. I do like this map, it's very pretty. It's got that awesome 70s aesthetic going on. Well, 50s, 60s, 70s, I guess it's all the same really. Not a lot changed style-wise. Where do you think you're going, buddy?
Strategic zones are captured.
He dead. Oh, there's another one! Oh, uh-oh. He's distracted, thankfully. There we go. This tank! This fucking tank! I love it. I love it so much. Oh, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What have we here? Missed that guy. Oh, someone else got him. I don't want to stay in one place too long. It's a good way to get killed by artillery or otherwise. Don't want to give them an easy way to flank me. There's a guy behind that rock, I think. I'm gonna hook around this way. Well, this match has been very one-sided. Just absolutely face-rolling these guys. God damn. Hello! What's up, buddy?
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
No damage, really? Okay. I better keep moving. Actually, these other guys are gonna hit me. Oh, there we go. There it is. I'm gonna get killed for going in their spawn before my crew can refresh. Oh well. It was a solid effort. 5 kills in like, what, a minute or two? T-64 is just so good. Didn't even really have to try this match. Our team just totally ran over the top of them without stopping. This is filthy. I don't know if it's just all the bad players are on at this time of night or what, but like this is a lot easier than it really should be. A hell of a lot easier than it really ought to be. Give it a little bit longer and hopefully get another match, and if it doesn't, by about, I don't know, minute 45, I'll drop tier again. Probably be my last match for the stream. Starting to get a bit hungry. But it's been good to at least get back into Wehr Funder a bit. Even if I don't want to get stuck trying to grind. I do want the, a bunch of stuff I want now. I want the T80. I want the T72, I want the T62, like, all of this stuff I want. And the Tunguska, but it's going to take forever to get it. I still haven't even finished grinding out the British tanks. Ooh, that's not what I want to press. That is what I want to press. There we go. Yeah, okay. We'll drop down. There we go. That's a few more players. I should get a match in no time. I should probably update my World of Tanks and World of Warships as well, so I can torture myself on stream by playing those. I might do some tanks tomorrow after DCS. I don't know. I'll work something out. My sleep cycle's probably going to be a bit fucky over the weekend. So I'm not sure if I'll be streaming at my regular time or a bit earlier or a bit later. Kind of depends when I feel like it, really. But I don't really have a schedule to begin with anyway. I just try and get on at the same time so that people have a general idea of when they can catch me live. Did I get my free premium day? I have no idea. No idea at all. I have not checked. Something coming today? I haven't checked the World of Tanks website in a very long time, to be honest. I haven't been keeping up with the news at all. I did play like 2-3 weeks ago. No, it wouldn't have been that long, maybe like 1 week. I played when Sophie was on. We platooned up for a bit, and I played awfully, as can be expected. The game's changed so much now, it's really hard for me to try and like get back into it. It's just nothing works the way I'm used to it working. This is a really dumb thing to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because I'm dumb. And dumb things are what dumb people do. Probably another over there covering this guy. Yep, just a TD. But it's looking the other way. Oh, there's two of them. It's a headset. Okay, now I've got his attention, I'm just going to get away from him and push this bloke, who is well and truly distracted at the moment. Hello. Let's be friends.
Enemy forces have captured a zone. Our victory is near.
Oh. I think his gunner's back up. Yes, he is. There we go. Stop struggling. Oh. Blindsided. I'm surprised it took that long for that to happen. That was such a risky move, just driving out like that, but I got away with it. You know, I'm missing World of Tanks, being able to, like, get out of the map, especially on Airfield and, what was the other one, Northwest? You could get into such stupid places on those maps, and the pubbies had no idea what was going on. It was great. And then Wargaming stopped you from being able to do that, because heaven forbid anybody have fun playing World of Tanks. Or find any way to break the fucking Dota lane arrangement of every single map in the game.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
I've got a good angle on this guy.
We've captured multiple.
Oh, what?! Fucking rushed by a Jagdpanzer. He came out of nowhere. I mean, maybe if I'd been paying attention to the minimap, I would have seen that coming, but goddamn. Change the gun sight on this too. There we go. I like my historical gun sights. Send a couple Hail Marys over their way, because if you happen to tag them with a single bullet, you will either get the assist, or if they fly into the ground, get the kill. It's like basically 3 points. It's kind of a stupid mechanic, but hey. It's probably behind something. Oh, someone else got him anyway. It's the same guy that killed me. Uh-oh. Couple of TDs down here. I'm hoping they're not being covered on this side, because they both seem distracted by the guy over there. But I am probably spotted. It looks like one of them's moving to intercept me, unfortunately. Fingers crossed. Yep, he saw me. Oh, they both saw me. Oh, it's a pair of Stugs. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, we fucked him up. Try and use him as a shield from the second one. Oh god. Mistakes were made. Big mistakes. I'm dead. Yeah. Careless. I should have just tracked one and run off. Might do one more. Just one. Just one, he says. 3 hours later. Can I go back to high tier? Please, please, please. Oh, here we... Oh, no. I was about to say 28, we might get straight into a match, but... Oh, I'll give it a bit of a wait and see. I haven't really kept up with what's going on in Wehr Funder either, to be honest. Like, I just haven't been paying attention to news in basically any game, except kind of sort of DCS. Still not getting a match. I'll just let it run for a little bit longer. I know it's not exciting to watch the waiting for match screen, but I really want to get the T64 into another one before I go. Oh, I guess it's not happening. There we go. Oh, and it's this map. Joy of joys. I don't think well, actually no, that's a lie. I've had like a couple of good games on this map, but most of them turn into a shit fight. Because everyone runs off to the edge of the map to post up on a hill and try and snipe. Granted, that's usually a problem in higher tier games. In a lower tier, it's not as bad. So this one might turn out okay, maybe. That was a bit of a luck shot. Please don't notice me. Yeet. While they're now occupied, I'm going to slip through the low ground to their left and put the flank on these guys. Hopefully. I shall put the flank on this heavy first. There we go. Hello, Mr. KV. Let's be friends. Oh god. I don't want to be friends with that. Oh, I made a mistake. Big mistake. Someone please kill him. That's an Italian tank. I don't think I've actually fought the Italian tanks in War Thunder before. I don't think so. I don't remember. forgot what my rockets were bound to until the last moment. That's why it took so long to fire them. It's been a bit too long since I last played this game. Just a bit. I think it's been like probably about 6 months. Well, maybe a bit less, but quite a while. And it doesn't take me very long to start forgetting things like control bindings in a game because I play so many different things with such radically different controls. Which is why after like 2 days of not playing DCS, I can't remember how to fly anything. It's so perishable.
The enemy controls most of the strategic zones.
Just like real piloting skills, actually. In that regard. Well then. That was a very short and kind of unsuccessful match. Still got one spawn left. See, this is what I've been trying not to do with the T-64, and it seems like I'm successful at not doing this in the T-64, but I can't avoid it in the T-34, and that's like really badly overextending and leaving myself in the open without realizing how many people can see me. It's really basic shit too, like, it's so frustrating when I realize I've done it, which is inevitably the moment somebody fires their gun at me. So, quick enough to, like, groan at my own stupidity, but not quick enough to actually avoid getting hit. Okay, I need to back off here, I'm really exposed to my left. Oh well. At least I got a couple kills, if nothing else. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it there, because I'm kind of hungry. And, kind of need a break. So, thanks for watching. I will have a look and see who else is on, so I can send you guys along to somebody else. Keep the chain going. Oh, it looks like Rudy's playing. So, I'm going to send you guys over to Rudy. He's playing DCS. Looks like he's in the Tomcat. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow.